In the Bible, we find one of the most beautiful appeal from God. It says, "Today, if you hear His voice, harden not your heart." Would you like to spend this day with God? Listen to this devotional.
This Day with God, a devotional by Ellen G. White. How to have heaven here. Desire a better country that is, and heavenly. Hebrews 11, verse 16. We want to seek with all the powers that God has given us to unfold the scriptures to those who are in darkness. There is happiness, hope, and peace for the desponding. We cannot afford to give our God-given ability and devote it to the commonplace things of this earth. We want a faith that will grasp the promise set before us in the gospel. What if we should lose our soul? It would be better for us had we never been born. One soul is worth more than all the gold and silver that could be heaped upon this earth. We want to cultivate living faith in God. We want to have our eyes turned away from the attractions of this earth and centered upon heaven and heavenly things. We do not want the earth to intervene between us and God, but we want an eye single to the glory of God. We talk of heaven and of its blessing, and it would be a great loss to lose it. Well then, if it is so lovely, so desirable, bring it into this life, bring it into your families, and educate your children not to live for this world, but for the future, immortal life. You can have a little heaven here below, if you will only get your eye fixed upon God, not looking at Christ half the time and at the world the other half. When you live for God, He will put His everlasting arm beneath you. And then He says, "My yoke is easy and my burden is light." Do you believe it? I can testify this is so. By my past experience, I can testify that I would not want to have one trial less, one sorrow less. For Paul says, "Our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory, while we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen." 2 Corinthians 4, verses 17 and 18. We want to look at the things of eternal interest, that we may think seriously in regard to what use we have made of our reasoning powers, whether we have tried to strengthen them with idle things which we cannot take with us when we shall be caught up to meet Jesus in the air. We want to be fitting, that we may have an abundant entrance into the city of God. Everything compared with this is of no consequence.